Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. I am so happy and honored to welcome Ann Norris, a community development specialist working with Child Development Resource Connection Peel early on as an outreach and volunteer coordinator. In her role, Ann engages with families and community organizations to promote the early on programs and services. Ann has been working in her community for over 25 years and takes on active roles on various committees that makes her community a better place to live and grow. These committees include Peel Police Liaison Committee, Black Community Action Network, and the Black Community Connects. Ann's work in her local community has earned her a Garfield Weston Merit Scholarship and the reward of seeing the systemic changes which are taking place currently. Welcome, Ann.
Thank you, Wendy. Thanks for having me, and welcome everyone. Thank you very much. I'm Ann, as Wendy mentioned, and I'm with CDRCP, Child Development Resource Connection Peel, in the early on programs. So thank you so much for. So we're discussing supporting early literacy. So the focus is literacy and preparing children for school. So we know that children are born ready to learn. So that's where the early on comes in and helps to prepare children so that when they are ready for school, they will have those pre-reading skills, pre-writing skills, and be able to just be ready to learn. As there's a curriculum once you're in school, once you're in the school system. So how do we support children's early development? First, we ensure that they're trained early childhood educators. So all our staff who are facilitating the programs are early childhood educators. So they're professionals, well-trained to connect with families about child development, about ideas on how to help families with whether it's activities and programs that are suitable, resources in the community. So these are the professionals that we have in our early on programs. And we're also guided by our quality programs are guided by how does learning happen. So this is a guideline to ensure that we make sure that we're meeting the needs of families and their children, and that we ourselves as staff are prepared, knowledgeable, and able to provide information and be able to connect with parents and meet them, or families, anyone with a child, and meet them where they are. We do this also through partnering with community agencies. So we partner with a variety of agencies in Peel. We're located in Peel, however, early on programs are throughout Ontario. So we partner with agencies such as Achieve, BCAN, different organizations, community groups, whether it's the region, the school boards. We partner in order to meet the needs of our families. We also offer a variety of programs for families with their children from birth to 6 years old. And that's our focus. We do this through engaging with families. And currently all our programs are virtual at the moment. So we're offering online programs, and these are free for anyone in Peel or anyone throughout right now because it's virtual, with a child up to the age of 6 years old. So we're always inviting families to come out, check out the programs, and be able to see what's available and what meets your needs. That's why there's a variety of programs, because your needs may be different from your neighbor's needs. So we invite you to check out the different resources and programs. So we really focus on the importance of play because we know it's vital for parents. We know that play is helping a child's healthy brain to develop. So play is basically a child's work. So We encourage families to play with their little ones, to come out, take part. Our focus is through play. Our learning is done through play, whether it's through songs or stories or activities, large muscle activities. We engage with families and support play to learn. So we know that play is the way that a child learns about their world and experiences the world and experiences their environment and learn different skills. So we are always focused on meeting children where they are at. So children develop differently, and we support that as well in our programs. We also know that play allows children to use their physical, emotional, and cognitive skills. And this is basically, like I mentioned, it's their work. Play is their work. So don't forget to play with your little ones and engage with them through different activities. So I have an activity just to give us an idea of how the brain works. So I mentioned children are born ready to learn. So there are things that happens nurturing things that happen for that development to take place. So the more connections that are made in the brain, the more a child learns, and the more the repetition that's done. So for instance, if a parent sings to a little one, there's a connection to, when they're very little, there's a connection that's made in the brain, and learning takes place. So these are connections that are being made, and the more connections that are made, the more a child's brain develops and prepares them for lifelong learning. And the more positive engagement, so whether you take your child to the park, whether you sing to your little one, you're making connections to the brain. If you attend various programs, you attend the library programs, you're making connections to your child's brain and helping them to be ready to learn. These are just some of the connections that are being made, whether it's through songs, we mentioned stories, and I'll get into stories and the importance of songs and stories in a little bit. So try that with your little one, whether it's just playing, whether it's hand games or clapping together, playing your favorite tunes together. If there's a song that you know your little one enjoys, playing those songs or singing them over and over together. And children never get tired. If they keep asking for the same stories, that's okay. So we will discuss the importance of reading. So as we mentioned, so reading is taking place from birth. So whether it's by signals that you may make to your little one, so they're learning from birth, whether it's listening to your voice, listening to the voices around them, and they're also reading body languages. So, whether and your facial expressions. So when you are telling a story, you might want to really make those sounds or make your face into different characters. If you're able to, make different expressions, we invite you to do that with your little one, because that's learning for them. And remember that you are your child's best toy. So you can bring in as many toys as you want, but you'll notice that children, especially at the early stages, they want to see you. They want to see your face. they light up when they see you. So it's, or, the actions that you may do with your little ones, whether you pick them up high or low, and engage with your little ones in that way. So here are some strategies for when reading with your little one to support early literacy. So things you might want to do is at the early stages, bring in books that may be board books for the early stages, because eventually little ones are going to want to taste it. We know that children learn through their senses, so they'll want to taste that book, they'll want to pick it up, they'll want to throw it. So these are things, so if we get board books at the early stages, that those are easier for the little ones, and smaller books as well. Some books come really small, so they can hold it and manipulate it when they're able to. That's building their literacy skills. So it also helps to read books or talk about the picture. So you don't always have to read through the whole story in a book. You can just talk about the pictures. You can, if your child has had enough and you're only halfway through the book, that's fine. If they're ready to go on to something else. So sometimes it's just following your child's lead as well, but providing that opportunity for literacy. So providing books, many books. So have your child see you read the type of books that you like as well. So and audiobooks as well. But we know that because children learn through their senses, as many senses as they can use to, learning takes place better when there's more senses. They can hold the book, they can look, they can see it, they can smell it. So as many senses as that's engaged, that really supports learning. So we invite you to, whether you're welcome to use audiobooks are fine as well. But remember that actual seeing and holding that book and turning the pages when they're able to do that is supporting that literacy, lifelong learning skills that they'll need. And you can read books at various times, so you can have it as part of your routine. So it helps if a child knows ahead what's expected. So they might want to take part eventually. They might want to be the lead and get the book when it's time for reading. And we encourage you to have them be a part of the process as well. So whether it's a bedtime story or maybe just a cuddle up time to cuddle up and read a book, a quiet time, encourage your children to pick their own stories eventually when they're able to. So here are a few more strategies to support early literacy. So we encourage you to tell stories. Storytelling is a great ways even babies can learn from the early stages of story, because it's so you can use gestures when you tell your stories. You can make it exciting using sounds, different sounds. Because your baby is watching you, so they're going to be mimicking eventually when they're able to, and just tell that this is a great way too for learning about cultures, learning about their world. These are things that you can always just engage in storytelling at any time. There isn't a specific time, but anytime. It could be a quiet time, it could be when your little one is working on something, when they're playing with a toy and maybe the story goes with that toy. We invite you to tell stories as well and include other family members. They might want to tell stories as well, and engage with your little ones so that they're able to learn language and it supports their development throughout. So, and you can tell the same stories over and over again. I remember telling my little sister, who was a lot younger than me, I'd tell her a silly story when I was a teenager and she was probably 3, 4 years old. And I would tell her, and she would laugh and she would ask for the same story over and over again. Sometimes I would forget what I said and just say something else, and she would remind me. So it's important to, tell those stories and engage with your little ones in a way that's meaningful. So it's also when they're able to babble, you might want to start by taking turns. So when your little one expresses something, maybe you're reading a book and your little one coos, and responding to that is letting them know, hey, I hear you. Yes, you want to be a part of this story, as well as you have something to say, you're valuable. So it's important to respond. It's a give and take kind of situation when you're connecting with your little one. So if they whether it's when they're young, making a sound and they're looking at you, they're waiting for you to respond. And you'll see that turn taking takes place, where when you stop, they'll go, and when you're speaking, they'll listen. So it's also learning about communicating at the early stages. And of course, singing songs. Children can never get tired of songs. It's the repetition for them is where learning takes place. They're learning about their environment, they're learning about their world, they're learning about you, they're learning about their family. There's so much learning that can take place through songs. And that's why at the early stages, we introduce some of the rhymes that we've grown up with, so that you'll find that a lot of them are from who knows when, but they've been songs that have been sung for ages, and we're still singing them to our little ones as they're being born now. So we want to talk about what types of programs are available at early on centers. And of course, like I mentioned, these are programs to prepare your little ones for school. So the whole focus is through literacy, but it's of course through play, songs, and stories. And so for instance, at our early on, we have different types of programs. We have age-specific programs. So these are programs for families with children within that same age range. So for instance, infant massage is for 4 to 12 months old. So you'll be able to connect with other parents or caregivers with little ones at the same, within that same age range as your little one. And it's an opportunity also to be able to connect with the facilitators. If you have any questions, especially if you are a new parent, you've just had a little one, you're not sure, or you want to be able to speak to someone about, hey, my little one's doing this now, and being able to share those beautiful moments with your community. And of course, right now we're all virtual, but it's still happening. Those connections are still being made online. So we invite you to take part in these programs. Of course, our baby playtime is from birth to 18 months old. This is an opportunity again to connect with parents within that age range and be able to talk about that developmental stage. We also includes infant sign in our baby playtime program, because we know that this helps children in order to communicate their needs and their wants. So we're always supporting infant sign, and of course there are tons of resources available, and we now have a program which also includes infant sign. So we start off with some of the simple signs, such as eating, feeding, done. So this helps a child to be able to communicate. It doesn't take away from their language. It actually supports their language, because you're still saying the words when you make the gestures or the signs. Now, Toddler Time is a program for children, parents with children from 12 to 24 months old. And this, of course, we know toddlers are busy little ones because now they're able to use their maybe have the language skills and they're mobile. So we know that they're going to want to do these things. They're going to want to make sounds. They're going to want to use their language. They're going to want to move around. So they're busy bodies. So this is a program that considers that, so that your little one's able to, still use their large muscles and still, and they're learning, even if they're so busy at work, they're still learning. So we also have our arts and science program that's for 2 to 6 years old. So this is an opportunity to practice different arts. We invite families to come out to the programs and let them know ahead what materials they'll need. And sometimes you can substitute these materials at home. So we always invite you to substitute. You don't always have to have all the materials that we suggest. And this is a way to take part in an activity and see what happens, the outcomes. So your little ones are learning about outcomes, processes, maybe even they're able to suggest or get an idea of what might happen if we do this. What happens if we mix this color with this color? What happens if we roll the flour, we add water and roll the flour, what happens? So these are things that take place in what we call our arts and science program. And of course, we also have our preschool program. This is an opportunity for parents or caregivers with the little ones that are going off to school in September. So they can come out from 2.5 to 4 years old. This is an opportunity to get those pre-skills, those pre-writing skills, those, recognizing their names, those skills that are very vital and important for when they do go to kindergarten. So we also have in our part of our programs are for families with children within a wide range. So this is from birth to 6 years old. These programs are ideal for families who may have children at different age groups. So you may have a toddler and a baby, or a preschooler and a baby or toddler. So this is an opportunity for everyone within that age range to take part in these programs. So of course we start off with breakfast story time in the mornings, and this is a way for you to connect with your little ones. So you may already have your breakfast, and this is an opportunity for us to do the storytelling. So moms or dads or grandparents or caregivers, you can kind of relax with your little one and we will do the storytelling while your little one might be at the table and be having breakfast. And this is an opportunity for us to do something for you. We also offer I Spy and Share, and this is a really great program where children get to use their own environment. So the facilitators will ask, can you find a red something in your home? And you'll see your little one get excited and go and and they'll also come back and show what they've got. So they'll show other parents or caregivers and the facilitator what they found. And it's so exciting to see that excitement or that curiosity when they're looking around for those things. We also have a program called Let's Make Music. And this program is, of course, centers around music. So we may use different things that you may already have around your home. When we're in the centers, they're musical instruments there, but this is an opportunity while you're in your own environment to find whatever it is in your home to make music, and the facilitators will engage with you in coming up with songs or making beats and singing and singing rhymes and songs. So it's another great opportunity for children who are mobile as well and love music, and for all children, because we know that children really relate to music. We also have a cooking program. This is a great opportunity. Children will be learning math through these programs. They'll be learning different skills, life skills. They're measuring, they're pouring. These are skills that are vital for when they're in school. They're building their muscles, they're building their problem-solving skills. So we invite you to take your little ones if they like to see you in the kitchen and they want to actually see what you're doing and copy what you're doing. This is a great opportunity because we make sure that it's things that children can actually take part in, and it's safe for them. We also have another program that's for active little ones, Move and Groove, songs and stories. So it's a lot of songs that you may be standing up, dancing with. Great opportunity to keep your little ones busy. And we always end with a bedtime story songs. And this is a great opportunity for, again, parents. We will do the story we will do the story and the songs to help your little one to wind down from a busy day. This is a time where parents can actually relax with their little ones, and our facilitators will sing the songs and rhymes with your little ones and tell the story. And our programs are for various times of the day. So for instance, from 9 a.m., our first program starts at 9 a.m. to 9:40. During weekdays, our last program, Bedtime Story, starts at 7 p.m. and ends at 7:40. So variety of time for your little ones, and as well as consistency. So a program, if it's offered this week at 2 p.m., it will be offered next week at 2 p.m. This helps you to plan your day with your little ones. As we know, you're busy, with your family and that. So this helps you to plan for take part in our programs. And it gives you a variety of programs at a variety of times too. We also have various parenting topics. We call it parent chats. So various topics that we will have listed already. And it's topics that sometimes parents tell us that they want to discuss, whether it's teething or it could be sleeping, where we've invited a sleep consultant this month to come out and share her expertise with us. So we also connect with our community in order to bring in those resources that are available. And we're always inviting feedback and families' response. We take that very serious. What families want to take part in and what's important to them. So we'll bring in topics that are brought in by families. In addition to that, we also provide song and story time in English, French, Punjabi, Hindi, Urdu, and Polish. So we support language in every language as well, because we know that children, once they learn one language, they can always transfer. So we really support first languages as well. So we know that children will transfer those language skills to another language, and they're able to pick up many languages when they're quite young. Another way that we connect with our families is we invite different organizations to bring their expertise. So we collaborate with these organizations to meet the needs of our families. So, for instance, we provide Zumba, Party Safari, Toronto Zoo. These are just a few of the additional support services or programs that we provide. And of course, these are also parents' ideas. These also come from parents' ideas. Yoga and story time, sleep workshop. These are just a few, but we're always looking for new ideas from parents and as well as our community to be able to bring in programs that still meets our focus, that's still within our focus of learning through play and preparing children for school. So we will invite different professionals to come out and join us and share their expertise and their skills with us. Of course, we're also connected to the Region of Peel and Every Mind Mental Health Services. We have a consultant that comes in as part of our program. So if parents want ideas, they need information, they have questions about their child's language, they can come out and ask and get support right there inside our programs, or book to see Melissa. We have Melissa that joins us. Book to see the consultant otherwise, or to, I'm sure now everything's virtual, so to connect with a consultant, you're still able to do that. And we also are connected to a registered dietitian, so we include nutrition program every month within our program, so you'll see that as well. And that's it. So we invite you to come out and take part in early learning programs. They're free of charge. They're everywhere in Ontario. You can access all the early learning programs in Peel through infopeel.ca and be able to find an early on that's close to you within your neighborhood, or maybe programs through the city, as well as information and resources. If you have a child with special needs, please call InfoPeel 905-890-9432 or log on to infopeel.ca. That's where you're going to find all the programs for families with children, or families with that just need resources. So if you're looking for resources in the community, that's a great resource there. And our early on is CDRCP.com, and click on early on. You'll be able to see all our programs and services, as well as check out your local library. Brampton Library, Mississauga Library, Caledon Library. They also are providing virtual programs currently, so we invite you to check those out. There's so much resources, but if you ever are looking for resources, it could be anything for your family, please call infopeel.ca. Oh, sorry, join in info. Click on infopeel.ca or call 905-890-9432, and there's always someone there to help you. I just want to say thanks to everyone and hope you're doing okay these days.
And maybe just as we're watching our Q&A, I'll take advantage of an opportunity to thank you.
You're welcome.
As we conclude this session today, on behalf of everyone, Anne, I'd like to express our sincere thanks and gratitude from the bottoms of our hearts for volunteering your time on this beautiful Saturday. It was great to learn. It was great to learn more about the programs and the resources available to families at the CDRCP early on and child and family centers. That's a mouthful. As well as the importance of learning through play and some strategies to support school readiness for our little ones, because we know that's so very important. Yeah. These early years are critical for brain development, especially through experiential learning. So thank you for that. And thank you to everyone who attended our session today. We truly hope that they are enjoying the symposium. And as we are, there's no other questions here, so I'll just end with reminding everyone that we have 3 other sessions being offered. You can learn more about securing scholarships for your students, enjoy an author reading with Stephanie Duff, and you can dance your way to wellness with a Fiwi Groove dance. At 3 o'clock, we can jump on over into one of the other sessions.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Anne.
You're welcome.